Guys, I have been wanting to put this combination together for quite some time. You see, someone put a bug in my ear not too long ago. They said take the exotic submachine gun, Riskrunner, and combine it with the exotic helmet on Warlock, Veritys Brow. So boys and girls, I present to you Veritys Runner. Now the subclass of choice today, the one that's going to be synergizing the best here and activating everything, is the new Arc subclass there for Warlock. We're actually going to be rocking pulse grenades. Now the beautiful thing about pulse grenades is if you throw it on the ground at your feet, you can actually apply arc damage to yourself. We've done this a lot in the past when trying to activate the exotic perk here on Riskrunner, which states when taking arc damage, this weapon becomes more powerful and it resists incoming arc damage. Kills extended time in its overcharged state. Now in its overcharged state, Riskrunner becomes a lot better in all aspects, especially in PvE. But for something like PvP, the weapon has a base default time to kill of 0.73. But with Arc Conductor activated, that actually drops to 0.67. But not only does it drop to 0.67, it actually has a more forgiving time to kill on top of that. But that small improvement pales in comparison to what its potential is in PvE. Superconductor is the trait here. When Arc Conductor is active, shots fired have a chance to become chain lightning and return ammo. Needless to say, guys, it's like Zalo Supercell in SMG form. Riskrunner has always been a fabulous PvE weapon, and in something like Gambit, it's second to none when it comes to clearing out ads. Now, as much as I like Riskrunner, I know that this gun is a much weaker form of itself if you don't have Arc Conductor activated, which is why having an Arc subclass available with a grenade to throw at your feet is extremely helpful here. But sometimes it's difficult to always have a grenade on hand, which is where Veritys Brow comes in. It gives us the intrinsic perk, the fourth magic, which energy weapon kills boosts grenade energy rate for you and your nearby allies. Now, as you see at the bottom left hand of the screen, Death Throws is actually the status that perk is now activated. And you can get upwards of 3 stacks to allow your grenade to almost instantly come back. But I gotta mention the other valuable piece of synergy we have here. Ionic Trace, which is on the Arc subclass tree. Defeating enemies has a chance to create Ionic Traces. Collecting Ionic Traces grants energy to all of your abilities. So between that, Veritys Brow, you won't have a shortage of grenades as long as you're landing kills. And activating something like Arc Conductor on Riskrunner will make that all the easier. Guys, this is a very fun loadout. Is it the most competitive? Probably not. In terms of PvP, I could pick a lot of other exotics there for the Warlock class. That is a much better exotic. On top of that, Riskrunner and all SMGs are kind of in a pickle right now. At some point before the week is over, we'll be talking about SMGs and what should be done to them. But Riskrunner, this is actually just it by itself. Was somewhat of a struggle to use here in Crucible unless I had Arc Conductor activated. Now granted, if I had the Catalyst, which substantially throws the range up, this gun does feel a lot better. But for me, where this setup, this loadout specifically truly shines, is in things like PvE. Constantly activating Arc Conductor, having a grenade on hand, having Ionic Traces coming back to you, feeding you and your teammates ability energy. It really has the best of both worlds in terms of lethality and that synergy. Now, I will say, if you want to go the extra mile with this setup, as soon as you get to that super, swapping over to something like Crown of Tempest, or maybe even the Geomax Stabilizers, are 2 very good exotic swaps to jump to when using your super. So boys, that is our Riskrunner Veritys Brow combination there with the new Arc subclass for Warlock. Thank you so much to my YouTube comment section for recommending this. We'll be covering everything tomorrow in terms of the exotic changes that are about to hit us, as well as the various sandbox changes that are coming with 2.0.5. That'll be out first thing tomorrow morning, guys. So I'll see you all then. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.